We were so burnt. It was like 7, 8 o'clock last night when we got done.
Starting on the big one. Yep, we're starting on the big one.
Trying to see what's rattling.
Everything on it. Something to do with a bungee cord. What do you expect? All right, so what's up, Timmy?
Well, Alex was saying these are different blocks from each from the plant, different
They're the
batches. Same plant, but different batches. Hard to tell. They're all wrapped if there's any kind of color variations in them. We are cracking off the school project here. So right over there is the.
So basically, what, from the other side of Alex's truck all the way down to there for our place?
Wraps around and a radius around on the corner by those pine trees and goes straight across on the sidewalk there. It's going to be a 6'4" tall wall right there, and then it will step down here. A radius about right here somewhere. Then it will run straight across to that other wall over there.
Okay.
Little radius behind this light post here. Wrap into this wall. Then we'll be replacing all of this wall here. Lowering the height of this wall just a bit to keep it under 4 feet.
Right, so
up there.
that way no engineering and all that other stuff. But
Engineering, and you can see that all the water back here is a little hill going down to it. Yeah, and then we're gonna go straight across up over here. And then we got one more section of wall over here where we can show quick.
we're gonna have to put down something to protect the concrete.
They're replacing all of these sidewalks, so we don't really have to be too careful with it. The new wall is gonna start somewhere down in here so they can level off to the sidewalk.
Right.
And it will just step up with the sidewalk grade.
And then just
Coming down to get into this wall height over here.
Ooh, they got rid of them bushes.
Yeah, they sure did. This wall will just continue here. It'll probably get to this height around here. Come here. No more column. It'll just be a straight corner.
Same height.
Return, same height. Yep. Same thing on this corner here. And radius back up here.
Yep.
But they were maybe talking about possibly adding some stuff here. They're not sure yet. We'll see.
We're starting on the big one.
Yep, we're starting on the big one.
All right, Jimmy, so we're digging to locate because they located the wrong area.
They, yeah, totally wrong property, I guess. So we're all here, everything's going.
Yeah. We're just kind of have to make sure that we're not going to hit anything behind our wall here.
Just gonna have them check for cable line running through here or anything. And I mean, we got electric out here.
Yeah.
That was private markings, so
If anything, yeah, at least maybe
as far as
that's...
public utilities go, they marked the wrong property, and now it's 48 more hours before they can get out here.
digging, we've only found irrigation line right there. Or nothing else so far, so that's always a good sign.
Yep. Just doing a section for today. We got nothing but rain for the next week.
Alright guys, my name is Stan Genetic. I'm the Dirt Monkey, and I've been a commercial and residential contractor for 35 plus years. And today we're going to be heading out to a big project that we're starting on, and as we tear apart the existing retaining wall that was there, you're going to see them doing a lot of things not right. Including from the block itself. What you should notice is that there is a solid block on the top, hollow from the bottom. That is a very cheap block that you can buy at the big box stores. You don't want that. They're using the wrong rock. You're going to probably notice that there isn't enough drainage aggregate behind the retaining walls. So it's all of those things even commercial contractors are doing, and I call them cheats. Cutting corners, doing things the wrong way. This wall that we're replacing should have never needed to be replaced if things would have been done the right way. Well, let's just take a look at it. We use one rock for both the base and the drainage. It simplifies our building process, but it is a little bit more expensive. And what it is, it's a 3/4 inch clear rock. There's no fines in it. And it's an angular stone, so as these stones get put down for both base and drainage, they instantly lock together in no matter what position they land. This right here is the block that I get called out to fix more than any other kind of block. It's hollow from the bottom. And the only way these blocks lock together is a little tiny lip on the back of the block. So you got your block, then you got this little lip that holds it together with the block below. And when you want to base with that block, you use that same block, but you know what you do with that lip? You take what's called a chipping hammer. It's just a little tiny hammer, and you just go whack, 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 whack on the back of that block, and the lip comes right off. So let me ask you something. What's holding that block together if that lip busts off naturally on its own? Because when these blocks are moving and grooving, freeze-thaw cycles, they're getting weakened. It's a very weak point to the block, and now nothing is holding these blocks together. Plus, they're hollow from the bottom side, so they're trapping water. So one block traps water on the other block. And then that water, it's not a lot of water, but it's still water. Then it freezes and contracts, it busts that lip, it lifts the block up, it sets the block back down when it thaws, it lifts the block when it freezes again. These blocks drive me nuts.
Alright. Oh, alright. We've excavated back for our grid here. Put some soft soil in here, and then we're going to take out these bottom base blocks, get our rock in, start basing out, and then just start building the wall.
So this is something not to breeze over. Zach said, you heard him say soft soils here. And what happens is if you're not familiar with geotechnical engineering, you may just go, we're just going to keep working ahead. Worst possible thing you can do. It'll look good for a while, but it will catch up to you and bite you in the butt, because if you've ever been driving around and you see retaining walls that are flat, 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 and then dip, flat, 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 and dip, it's because they didn't handle the soft soils when they encountered, because we're not the only contractors encountering soft soils. The difference is when you hit soft soils, it's a good and a bad thing. It's bad for the retaining wall, but it's good for the contractor to catch it, bring it to the customer's attention, and say, we have an issue that we're going to fix now, so we don't have a bigger issue that we have to fix later. This is an upcharge, you guys. Don't be afraid of fixing problems. It's not something you could tell. You don't have a halo over your head. You can't predict the future, and you can't see what's underground. But when you do find it, you've got to fix it. And it doesn't always have to be on your dime. It doesn't have to be in your pocketbook. So don't be afraid of soft soils, but don't cover them up. fix them before they become a much bigger issue down the road.
Yeah, so they based it out with river rock instead of using. Really?
All right, you guys probably already know this, but you don't build with river rock. And if you don't know this, the reason you don't build with river rock, although this river rock is about the same size as the rock we use, river rock is not as angular. And river rock, by its very nature, the edges have been rolled off in a river. So the entire rock tends to be a little bit more round. And that doesn't hold together like you need to create a firm, strong base that can bridge the weight of the retaining wall. So anytime you see river rock or worse, pea rock, don't let it be put into your retaining wall or don't use it. Now the blocks we use and have almost always used for the last couple decades are Versalock standard units, but recently the quality of these blocks has come into question. So as a contractor, if you use these blocks or any block from any manufacturer, do not ever blindly accept what they give you. What we do is we inspect every single block and we reject them. If we don't like the way the block looks, it's not going into our wall. And it doesn't matter if it's these Versalock blocks or some other block. It's our job to ferret out all of the good blocks from the bad blocks, set the bad blocks to the side, and send them back to the factory and let them become the factory's problem and not our customer's problem.
As I was saying, with Alex bring out the bigger packer, you can do 5 to 6 inch lifts instead of 2 to 3s. So we're gonna get that done, that built up. Sam's gonna keep digging here. All right, we're on day 2 of project. We got this far done last night. We were so burnt. It was like 7, 8 o'clock last night when we got done. Everything wrapped up before the rain came. So now we're just gonna sit and we gotta scrape off the top layer here of all the just straight dirt to get down to at least the silty stuff for backfill. 2 piles going over there. Here we got irrigation that we just kind of keep pulling at as we're working our way down because behind the wall, but it's shut off. Then we're gonna get this hopefully built up today.
So you kind of got to listen between the lines. You heard Zach say we had 2 piles going over there. And what that means is we are sorting out the dirt. The top layer of dirt has organic material in it. It's not structural soil. So that gets sorted and separated from the soil that's below it, which has the non-organic material, which can then be reused as structural soil. So even the excavation process you have to take into account the kinds of materials that you want to put back into your retaining wall, because you don't want to put the wrong kind of material behind your retaining wall, because that can create an issue down the road. So you want to make sure that as you're doing your dig, you're getting the right materials to be used in the right place when it's time to put everything back in order.
Packing up nice with that packer.
Yeah. Just trying to see what's rattling.
Everything on it. Still together with a bungee cord. What do you expect?
Want more dirt or rock? We can do more dirt. Go ahead, throw another lift in. We'll just get up to the grid and then we'll dump our rock in.
The grid is a massively important part of the overall strength and longevity of the retaining wall. Cheating on the grid because you can't see it is something that you should never do, because if your retaining wall ever fails, that's one of the first things they look at. Remember, we as contractors are responsible to build these retaining walls the right way. And if heaven forbid a retaining wall ever fails, it doesn't matter if your warranty was up in 3, 4, 5 years. If that wall fails in 8, 9, 10 years, but it can be proven that you didn't build that wall to the spec and the right way, you are still responsible. So making sure that you get the right grid lengths behind that retaining wall is huge, not just for personal liability, but it's also a major factor in the overall strength of the retaining wall. You see, these retaining walls, once you start to get up to a certain elevation, the face of the retaining wall, the block, the thing that you see, is not really the key element retaining the wall. It's the geogrid behind it. In fact, you could actually, on taller retaining walls, take the face of the wall completely off, and the entire bank should stay in place, because you have all of these layers of geogrid layered in there with structural fill soil sandwiched in between, creating this entire mass of soil that is designed not to move. And now what the retaining wall is doing is just holding up the little tiny bit of soil that could fluff off from rain and erosion. So the face of the retaining wall then turns into nothing more than an erosion control method when it's incorporated with the proper kind of geogrid behind the retaining wall. All right, guys, we're going to come back to this big school retaining wall project a little bit later on and see how the guys are doing. But the next retaining wall project you see, we're going to be specifically attacking poor soils below the retaining wall. We dig out an old retaining wall and we find out that what's underneath there could in no way, shape, or form support a new retaining wall. So we address that very specific issue because it's a very common issue that we contractors hit all the time. And we have two different solutions when we encounter those problems, how we address them. And that'll be coming up in the next retaining wall video coming down the pipeline. And then we'll jump back to the school and see how these guys are doing. But that's it for today. God bless, and go get them, you guys. And happy building out there. Be safe. Catch you on another one.